Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to do an updated version of this crochet case. It's practically the same pattern. I just know my last video had some technical difficulties, and so I decided to make a new one so that you guys can make this without having your ears being blasted by music. I hope you guys enjoy. So first thing you're going to need is some yarn, preferably a size 4 worsted weight, a pair of scissors, a crochet hook in the size your yarn recommends. I used it, a 5mm H crochet hook, a button, so if you want to have a flap, you're going to need a button. You're going to need a stitch marker because we are crocheting in the round, and then also a yarn needle so that you can sew on your button. First thing you want to do is make a magic ring, so do that however you please. I do it by creating an X over my 2 fingers and going under the first string and then pulling the second string through. And I always do a chain so that I know that my magic ring is secure. And you're going to want to start by doing 8 single crochets into the magic ring so that we get the base for our lip balm holder. Once you've done that, you want to pull it tight so that you have a base and not just a hole with single crochets all around it. And then this is where we're going to start our first row, and I crochet in the row by taking out my needle and placing the stitch marker in the last stitch that I've made, and then I just go around that way. When you do it this way, keep in mind that you're going to have to crochet in the spot where you put the stitch marker. So just keep that in mind. If you want to do it differently, feel free. But all we're doing in this next row, which is row 2, we are crocheting back loop only so that we get this like little foot base type thing for our lip balm holder. Again, once you come back around, make sure to take that stitch marker out and crochet into that one, and that is going to count as the row that you were just working on. And now you slip the stitch marker into the stitch that you just created. Rows 3 through 10 are very easy and very simple. All you're doing is doing 8 single crochets each row so that you build your lip balm holder into like a cylindrical thing, if that makes any sense. So rows 3 through 10, I use like a tally system, and I just tally off on the side so that I know which row I'm on. So I would recommend doing that so that you know which row you're on each time. So as you crochet in the round, it is going to get tighter and it's going to be harder to get those stitches in just because you're creating this cylinder. So if you're a beginner, you might want to back off on this project, learn how to crochet in the round with something else, and then come back to this so that it's easier for you to do later. I'm on my last row, and so I'm just finishing it up, and I'm going to remember to crochet into the spot where the stitch marker was to finish my row, and then I can begin to work on the flap for the lip balm holder. Your flap is going to be really simple. All it is chain 1, single crochet into the next 4, and then chain 1, single crochet 4 until you have your desired length. Including this first row that I'm doing right now, I did it 6 times so that my 7th row I can create a loop for my button. Before you do this next step, I would take a moment to look and see where your flap is going to lay before you proceed to doing this. And all you're doing here is chaining 5 or however many you need so that your loop can fit over your button. And then in the single crochet that we created at the beginning of the last row, just slip your hook into there and do a slip stitch so that you get a loop. After you've done this, cut off your yarn and then you can sew in your ends. Next thing you want to do is cut off a little bit of yarn, and then this is going to be the yarn that you're using to sew on your button. Once you've threaded your needle, you can go ahead and sew on your button. The way I'm doing it right now looks kind of complicated, but in my head it made sense. So sew on your button however you feel you need to sew on your button so that you can have a button on your case. What I did for my button is I made sure that my starting end and the end that I ended on was at the same side so that I could tie them together and then just stick them into my pouch so you don't see the thread at all, and then you can say you're done. Now all I've done is added a keyring to this so that I can put it on my backpack or whatever bag I have at the time. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was much more pleasant than the other one. And if you guys did enjoy this video, please like this video, please subscribe, it really means a lot, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye!